Okay, with our masks on, you can't tell who's who. Okay, well, first of all, good morning, everybody. Thanks for showing up on a Sunday. It's good that you're here and you're not in church today, so thank you very much for coming. Oh, okay, sorry. As an atheist, agnostic, I'm not worried about church, but okay. All right. So before we get started with the formal part, we'd like to know our audience a little bit better. So, show of hands, how many of you saw the film yesterday? Okay, so maybe half. That means half of you haven't, but that's plenty of opportunity to see the film. Okay, now, I'm sure everybody has seen Hong Kong in film. Everybody knows Hong Kong cinema. How many of you have actually been to Hong Kong and experienced Hong Kong life? Okay, good. Thank you. Great.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Now, I'm sure this is going to be a bigger group. How many of you have been to Iceland? Okay. All right. Very good. And the last show of hands, how many of you consider yourself to be happy, but you have room for improvement to be even happier? Show of hands, how many of you are happy? Okay, Jim, there's room for you to work. Okay, well, very good. So let's get started with our Finding Bliss Fire and Ice panel today. My name is Michael Werner. I'm a recovering American, and I've lived in Hong Kong for 27 years, so it's really my home. And I kind of feel and understand, bless you, Josie. I very much feel and understand what the film was depicting and what it was showing. And I know from the people who saw the film yesterday and the reaction that it really connected with you. And so that's so great. That's great for our director, our star, our happiness guru, and our producer financier. So we're all very thrilled with how the film was received and what it meant. Now, Hong Kong is a crazy place. When I first got there, it took me a while to realize that it takes a lot of energy to survive in Hong Kong. You know, Hong Kong it's frantic, it's crowded, it's crazy. People are struggling to survive financially and emotionally. It's a tough place. And so you really need a lot of energy to be successful in Hong Kong. And that energy that you need kind of saps into your happiness and your balance and your sense of self. And so it's easy to get lost in Hong Kong if you're not careful. And I think that one of the main attributes of this film is it shows how it's possible to recover that sense of happiness and sense of self. And it's such an important thing for Hong Kong. You know, it's a difficult period of time for Hong Kong. Everybody knows Hong Kong's been in the news. When this film started shooting, a lot of things hadn't happened yet. But in the 2.5 years, 3 years since the shooting went on, big social, political changes in Hong Kong, big changes in terms of the health and the COVID situation. So the film was prescient in talking about topics and issues that now are very, very serious. And so without any further talk from me, let me introduce our panel, and I'm not going to say too much about them. You can read their histories and their biographies in the catalog, but we have our creator, producer, star, Josie HO. And Josie is a veteran of Udine. She was here for the second edition 20 years ago. So she's back, and that's great. And she's a strong supporter of Udine, and Udine is a strong supporter, and thanks Sabrina and Thomas for inviting the film, and we'll talk more about that. We have our director, Kim Chan. So Kim's first film, so be gentle on him. But we'll talk more about that. Then we have our producer, financier, and co-chairman of 852 Films, Conroy Chan, and Conroy is also a very successful musician in Hong Kong, and we'll talk about it. But this wasn't his first documentary. Actually, he made a mockumentary years ago, right? Yeah. Oh, you were there? Okay. Yeah. All right. So we'll talk about that. And last but not least, we have CHIM. And Jim is one of Hong Kong's, he's a multi-hyphenate. He's a Renaissance man. He's a comedian. He's a professor. He's a life coach. And he's a guru of happiness. So if you saw the film, he's our path to enhanced happiness. And he maybe will treat us to some kind of, we'll see, maybe some kind of experiment, okay? Social experiment. So, all right, well, let's get into this. So, Josie, what inspired you to explore these topics in Finding Bliss? What is it about Hong Kong lifestyle that necessitated this film? It's such a different film for you. So.
Yes, and hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming on a Sunday. I had an incident where I get to go to Master Jim's class, and it was for acting, because I'm also an actress as well as a rock singer, and I felt that in one of the film that I did before I went to his class, I felt pretty stiff. I didn't feel that I gave enough performance. I felt bad. So I went to Jim's class, and I wasn't expecting anything, and his class was very much fun. It was all about games and how to play, because we never say we will act in that film. We say we will play that role. So to play, how do we seriously play? And I learned, I think I got totally surprised and shocked. And I come with an open mind, and oh my God, I felt that Jim's class really inspired me. After I went home, after I went to his class, I thought, wow, maybe acting is not just about using one style of acting. I know there are tons of styles. There's method, there's improvisation, but then his way is a very special way. And he inspired me so much throughout the down times of Hong Kong when everybody wasn't happy and worried. I had a friend who, I know someone, a young person, who got very worried because there wasn't any jobs left. So she went to take her life. So I thought, okay, that a lot of these incidences has been happening in Hong Kong, so I wanted to stop it, or maybe make a little contribution on behalf of mankind. This is something small that we can do, and I thought the happiest times in my life was that when I was in your class, that I felt some crazy, wild, like unbelief of happiness and bliss. Therefore, I decided to make this documentary, and I talked to Kim. Kim's our director, and I talked to Conroy, and Conroy thought I was crazy. So in the end, I must go to Jim, because Jim's the perfect person to explain and to lead us and to lead the whole cast through this experiment.
And did you feel that you had to leave Hong Kong to explore that and find that, and why Iceland? The one person who's been to Iceland plus you, why Iceland?
Well, some people say it could be anywhere, the class. But I felt that I found a bunch of legendary musician friends who were very very introverted and shy. Because people in Hong Kong, they just feel that they come, although they really love music and they're very good at them, really good at it. But because our lives that we lead in Hong Kong is very, we have to be productive and practical, and then we go home and sleep. So they come and they play like this. even with heavy metal music. So I felt that maybe there should be some kind of a release, because I've always watched YouTube videos about other bands and everyone's jamming like. So I was wondering, why can't we do that?
Right.
And I took our band to Iceland, where they don't have anything there. Like we gave them travel and accommodation, and the time difference is so much they really can't do any work.
But they really did seem transformed by the whole experience.
Yeah,
which was
it's
great,
like start from zero, like a sheet of white paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that idea.
And I think, when we spoke to the audience, some of the audience after the film, people said they were very moved by the film. Some people were crying. So I think you really struck a very powerful note. Even though it wasn't meant to be exactly like that, it showed what the issues are in Hong Kong and how it affects people and how there's a chance to break through and recover and get better in a way. So I think that's great. Okay, we'll come back to Josie in a little bit.
Yep.
Let's talk to the director for a second. Thank you, Josie. So, Kim, how did you get sucked into this? This was your first film as a director, right?
Yes.
You had assisted directed before, but this is your first solo effort, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And how was that experience?
It's pretty much a nightmare. But it is a beautiful nightmare. A lot of our crew, I don't know what's happening in Iceland. Josie just tell me, go shoot something, right? So when we get there, and I slowly find out this is a quite meaningful project. And then the story is actually happening in the editing room. So when we go shooting, I don't know what's going on, just shoot whatever we could cover. And I spent quite a lot of time in the editing room. I feel like half of my lungs gone because of all the smoking. But come out beautiful, and I think we are happy with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll do more documentaries, or do you want to do more mainstream commercial films? Or, as a director, where do you want to go next?
I more prefer a documentary, even it probably make my life shorter. But documentary, every time I finish a documentary, either editing or directing, I feel myself learn a lot of things.
Right.
Because when you edit it so many times, Jim's course kind of impinged in my brain, and I actually learn a lot of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so I think documentary is painful, but the outcome is more meaningful.
And did you study along with the band members and with Jim? Or did you end up being happier at the end of the process?
Oh, I'm totally reformed now.
Totally blissful and happy, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, very good. Conroy. So Conroy is a musician and a producer, financier, and he's the co-chairman of 852 Films, which this is a production of 852 Films. So, it was a long process because of, everybody knows, because of COVID, so many films in the world were affected. And so this film hasn't had a chance to be released yet. We're really grateful for Udine to invite the film and let it have its world premiere here. So for 852, you're known for making commercial films and mainstream films primarily. This is your first documentary. As a company, what do you think about the process, and what is the plan for 852 maybe to do other documentaries or other socially relevant Hong Kong kind of films?
I think first of all, this film was quite left field, and it's, in a way I feel it's a little bit outside of art style, where it's you know, you don't really know what to expect. So, you know, when Josie approached me and had this idea, during that time, like, I was actually in hospital. I was actually close to death because of drinking. And I was, this was about 2016, and I was recovering. But then Josie's like, she had to go through all that sort of, what I put her through when I was in hospital. And then I think when I was recovering, she says, I want to go to Iceland and shoot this documentary. And I'm like, oh, okay, what's that all about? So, but yeah, it's, you know, we had a friend, as she said, that was part of this band in Hong Kong, this like a girl youth band, two girls, and one girl was in the industry and trying to roll, and she couldn't take it anymore, and she took her own life, and that's what inspired Josie to think of this idea, because suicide is a very, very hard topic to deal with, and you know, it's always trying to find a output and a release to understand why, or I don't know, sometimes we don't understand why, then what do? We just got to move on. But in moving on, we need to release, and I think Josie, through that incident, got, you know, it's funny, it's through dark times you get inspired to do something creative, because I think the only release that really heals trauma and all that is creativity. Creativity, you know, helps understand more of these sort of subjects. So she said, I'm gonna go, I've been inspired by Jim and attending these sort of classes of exploring yourself through acting and doing that sort of stuff. So they said, I'm gonna go to Iceland and I'm gonna do this documentary. I'm like, all right, I'm still recovering, but yeah, this is bonkers. So, you know, that's when we thought, okay, this could be a good idea to do. You know, this Hong Kong for 852 films, we've actually, you know, one of our first films, Michael, was Dream Home,
Right.
which already sort of highlighted the issues of big city life. And Hong Kong is one of the most insane city lives there is. It's like, you got New York, you got Tokyo, Hong Kong, London, Paris, all that sort of stuff. But Hong Kong is even more compacted into an intense area. And that's one of the things that really drives these sort of mental issues and all that to a very extreme case, you know. So you get pushed to the front, and then actually people push themselves over the edge about that. So,
Yeah.
so, you know, it's like, well, how do you budget or finance or anything like this? And it's sort of at that moment in time, because before we were doing a lot of films that were very structured and very normal, and, you know, you hire a script writer, hire a director and all that. But this one sort of evolved in a very organic way, albeit very messy and all that, but that's life, and that's how this project came about. So.
Right. You know, on that subject, Hong Kong is such an intense, crowded, almost boiling kind of place. It has one of the highest youth suicide rates in the world, which is like awful. And now with COVID, it has one of the highest elderly suicide rates in the world. It's just that kind of place, you know. So it's a big contrast to what you think when you see the films and the action and the excitement and the lights and all of that. But there's a dark side to that as well. We're no sound. Hello?
Hello? Oh,
Okay.
Film at the, like, we touched on, at the start, we touched on about Hong Kong life and how difficult it is to be in Hong Kong. But, you know, one of the things that Jim and Kim and Joe was trying to do is give it a light touch to this and make it casual so it's very approachable for everyone to sort of, you know, go through these little adventure with us. Because if we didn't want it to sort of sensationalize the darkness. We know the darkness is there. So this is why they thought it'd be a better approach if we took a light approach to what we were doing, and just go that way with it. So
But at its heart, the film is a little subversive, don't you think?
a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder in the current situation, maybe some of the themes that are explored might have some issues when it goes to be released. We'll have to
Yeah,
wait and
true.
see.
We'll have to work something out.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so Jim, you worked with Josie, as she explained, as a kind of a mentor and having a class help her break through in some of her acting issues. So what was it like to go with this group of young musicians who probably had never heard of this side of your career? Everybody knows you as an actor and a comedian, and to help guide them to find happiness and kind of like open themselves up and try to understand there's different ways to think about things. What was that experience like?
First of all, please note that my English is not that fluent because this is not my first language. I'm a Chinese, born in Hong Kong. So my first language is Cantonese. And my second language is Italian. The third language is
Gibberish.
is English. So when I speak English, when I express it not so well, please help me to translate better. But my Italian is very, very good. Later you will know, okay? Only me can understand my Italian. Huh? I'm a strange person because I cannot define myself as an actor or a lecturer or a coach. I'm like a combination, a mix. And this mix continues to grow every day and every period of my life. When I meet different people, my state changes. When I met Josie at the first time when we are in the class, I thought she was very crazy. Not normal. Not normal is very, very important because we used to live in a normal way. The normal way is the outside world told us how we should live. I saw the craziness from her eyes. I said, this is an interesting person. And we don't think of any cooperation, but I think there's the connection started. So later, we passed so many years, and then one day, she told me that she has these crazy ideas. Bringing a group of musicians, and then with three students, secondary school students, to bring them to experience and to find bliss in a very difficult environment. But they knew that, Iceland is one of the happiest country in the world. I think this contrast is very, very inspiring. She told me that she has this idea, and inside my heart, I know that we don't know what it is, but the guts is there. I feel that it is right, so I accept it, okay? And then we go. But inside, there is a lot of new idea comes up, because I'm not just a normal trainer. I train actors from a very fundamental way to very experienced superstars in films like Josie, a lot of stars in Hong Kong, in mainland China. And I found that they have very, very special quality, but because they don't have the opportunity to find the potential within themselves. So I've create new ways to stimulate them. And I think this is my way to stimulate the musician. I want to play with them because my training idea is 3 letters, PIP, pleasure, imagination, and play. From these 3 main elements, I inject this idea into small exercise and then to play with them. And I found that, this is a good way for them to to experience what is pleasure. So we have a lot exercise or approaches, but within that 10 days, we did little part of it. But this little part already makes them get a lot of open up themselves, or they get inspired to become happier, more creative, more willing to connect with people. So I think this is a very fruitful experience for me too, and also for our participants. So later, if we have chance, we can talk more about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked that question at the beginning. How many of you here in the audience are happy but feel that you could be happier? And it seemed like quite a few of you were happy but felt you could be happier. So Jim, I think that's kind of the entry point for you to maybe take it away and do a little experiment.
Okay.
Yeah, if
right.
you guys don't mind, you get to be part of.
Don't worry, you sit, huh?
Yeah, hope you don't mind. We're gonna deviate from a normal Q&A kind of format and to
because we are not normal, okay? We are crazy. So I hope that this 10 minutes will give you an idea what the musician and the three youngsters go to Iceland and what they experience. I have to tell you one story, okay? 33 years ago, I came to Italy, okay? For what? There is a very good, famous teacher called Italiano Farafino Tagatino, okay? Did you heard of it? No? He's called Italiano Farafino Tagatino, okay? He's a real person, okay? His name is Italiano Farafino Tagatino. He's very famous, okay? But you don't know. I don't know why, huh? During that time, I'm very young, okay? I carry my backpack and I get a map, and then I go to Milan to find him. And in Milano, and when I get into that space, it's like that small, okay? Italiano Farafino Tagatino, he stands in the middle of a group, and then I was late, okay? I carry my backpack and I comes in. Over there, I'm the Italiano Farafino Tagatino standing here, and I'm over there. I'm late, and he looks at me. He said, "Signore, mi permette di stare late? Don't go back home now." Oh, your Italian is very good, huh? You know what I'm talking about. So I feel very, very bad, and I said, "Signore, o mi restorero, ero mi caramella citola, ero mi namra pure vedeni versus canandra stella." So I said, "Oh, I apologize because I don't know the place, and so I'm late. I'm so sorry." When he hear my tone, he said he know that I'm from Hong Kong because I have a Hong Kong accent of Italian. So he said, "Signore, big workshop, actore, don't go home la." He said, "This is a workshop for actor. But you are from Hong Kong. Hong Kong, no actor. Please go home." During that time, I was very upset, a little bit angry, okay? Say, we don't have actors in Hong Kong. And I say, "Signore, mi permette Jackie Chan, ho. Or mi per Bruce Lee, ha. So he said, he feel that I am so passionate and enthusiastic. So he give me one challenge. Okay, the challenge is, he said, "Arimi faramide Italiano farapino takateno, restam del stale, onre Italiano farapino takateno, somewhere go home." Now, you don't know the Italian, huh? He said, "If you can do this exercise, Italiano farapino takateno, you can stay. If you cannot do this Italiano farapino takateno, then you go back home." You know what's my decision? Stay or leave? Yes, I make a very clever, important decision. I stay to face that challenge. And I did that exercise. And I tell you, after that exercise, it changed my life. So today, now, I'm going to do this exercise with you. And I'm sure when you do this exercise, it will change your life too. Some people say, oh, I don't want to change my life. But some people say, yes, I really want to change my life. Everyone, you gotta choose, because it's just a matter of choice. You want to experience new things, or it's okay, I'm fine, no problem. Okay, anyway, it's not compulsory, but it's very, very lucky things that I experienced, so I want to work with you. So, it's very easy. Michael said that in the beginning. He said, Jim, if you do the demonstration, don't ask me to be the demonstrator. I said, okay. So he's now, okay. But we need to find someone to do the demonstration. So I give you the privilege to ask somebody, anyone to do the demonstration. Michael?
Uh-huh.
Anyone?
In our group?
No problem.
Are you pointing at,
Whoever
are you pointing at Conroy?
You want Conroy?
Conroy, do you?
Conroy, are you ready? I tell you, this session, I didn't talk to them. Okay, this is an ad hoc.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
the whole point.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So-
We won't use Conroy. We're going to invite my good friend Patrick Frater.
Oh,
Everybody knows Patrick, and
so
yeah.
Patrick.
and
Okay, so you're Patrick. Okay, thank you. Patrick, we have only 30 minutes. Yeah. Patrick, we have only 30 minutes.
how many?
Yes, please come up. Okay,
6 minutes left.
a big applause for. Nice to meet you. Oh, he don't need this one. He don't need this one. Yeah. Okay. It's very easy because, so first of all, this exercise is originated from Italy.
Oh, good. I
Okay.
speak Italian like you do.
Yeah, yeah. And in Italy, we have philosopher, okay, we have great artists, so it is a little bit complicated. So did you study in university or college or primary school or kindergarten?
I did primary school.
Okay, good, good, very good. Very good for primary school student. But if you didn't have primary school student level,
I got there.
Okay, you have to be very careful, okay? Very complicated, very Italian, huh? So, now I'm going to give you a command, okay? I will say, Italiano Farafino Tacadino, ask you to do something, and then you follow the direction, okay? If I say, Italiano Farafino Tacadino, ask you to raise up your hands, and then you have to do.
So it's a bit like Simon Says.
So clever. I don't know. Do we have Simons here? No, but I don't know why Simon says this. But anyway,
You're going to do it, your friend Italian.
that is different.
Okay.
Yes, different. Okay. So if Italiano Farafino Tacadino asks you to do something, you follow. Italiano Farafino Tacadino asks you don't do the action, you don't do action. If every one of you, if you didn't hear the direction, the command of Italiano Farafino Tacadino, you do nothing. Okay, so simple, okay? I saw people nod their heads
Yes,
because during 33 years ago, I knocked my head like this. Come on, quicker, okay? I know. Okay, so, sorry.
Patrick.
Patrick, yeah. So Patrick, we start now, okay? But because of the Italiano Farafino Tacadino is too long, I make it short to Dino. Okay, so Dino asks you to do something, you do it. Dino asks you to do another thing, you follow, okay? Without Dino's direction, you stop, okay? Okay, Dino said, hands up. Very clever, okay? Simple thing, don't need to applause, huh? Okay, okay. So your hand has to still, yeah, for the whole rest of your life, huh? Okay.
No, Dino didn't say that.
Yes. Dino said hands down. Very good. Hands up. Oh, okay. So
Already been trained.
that, yeah. So why he do this is very spontaneous. Okay, it's very good. So, but now you know, oh, I know this exercise. I know how this functions. I know the logic. I know the command. I know the tricks. You are using your left brain to understand this exercise. But now, when you play this game, you will struggle between your left brain and your right brain. And how it will function later when Patrick go back to his seats and we all start this experiment. And you will find is your left brain is stronger than your right brain. And this is very important, okay? And then you will find the pleasure in playing this exercise. Okay, thank you, Patrick, and you can go back. Yeah. So you see, he immediately forgot the game. I didn't say, Dino, you have to go back, and he go back, huh? Okay, so now, it seems simple, but it is not that easy. But you receive that, you accept this challenge, okay? So, now, everyone, Italiano Farafino Takadino, this exercise starts now. Although, Sabrina, you did it yesterday, today you have to do it too, okay? Can you stand up? Sabrina, did Dino ask you to stand up? No. Ah! Okay, okay. You see, everyone, although you understand this exercise, and we still will do it wrong, never mind. I do this exercise when I'm a student for 10 years. And every day I play it, and it was so fun, and I do it wrong every time. Okay? So why? Later you will know. Okay. Dino said, raise one hand. Very good, very good. But not together. We have to be together. Okay, hands down. So, yeah. Now the reporter said, oh! And inside, there is a text inside. Okay, shit. Okay, inside, oh, I'm wrong, okay? So, now you know the tricks is there, okay? Be careful. Okay, hands down. Again, huh? Okay? Dino said hands down. Dino said 2 hands forward. Can you stand up? Can you? Dino said, can you hands up? Dino said, can you stand up? Can you stand? Dino said, can you stand up? Yeah. Dino said, your hand forward. Okay, can you hold it for me? Dino said, can you hold this for me? Thank you. Okay, okay. Dino said, this exercise you don't need to do, just stay. Okay. Dino said, clap our hand once. Louder. You see that gentleman? Dino said, clap twice. Louder. Dino said 3 times. Stamp of it. Like this. There. Wrong. Okay? You see the superstars is so stupid. Huh? 10 years before, he did this exercise with me. In Iceland, he did this exercise with me. And today, still wrong. Still so stupid. Okay? So, your hands up. Dino didn't ask you to do this, okay? Okay. Dino said, exercise finished. Big applause to everyone. Because of the time, I don't play it for so long. But each exercise, when we do it, we will have a lot of new experience. The experience of what is spontaneity. The spontaneity is when we do an exercise or play a game when we fail, when we make mistakes. Inside, there are 2 choices. One is you scold yourself. Oh, I'm so stupid. Next time, don't do it again. Okay? You are very hard to yourself. But the other side is you think it is very funny. Let's do it again. And next time you become smarter. Inside, you are moderating yourself. And it is a very good way to advance someone's ability. Like the kids. They never say when they play the game, they will say, oh shit. They will, I play a game. They continue to play it. And they become more capable to play the game. So in a game, we find a lot of new ways of understanding of ourselves because we no longer be happy like a child. My physical age is 57, but my spiritual age is 7. My playful age is 7. I like to play because when playing, I feel younger. So like 10 years ago, I talked to myself, okay, I started to grow younger. Yeah.
Jim, Dino says you have to sit down.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a very good student.
Sorry,
Huh?
we're sorry, we're out of time. So, listen. Dino says you can all clap for the panel. It was a great panel today, and we're okay. Dino says you can stop now, and so just thank you again for coming today. Thank you, Josie and everybody for bringing the film, and Sabrina and Thomas for inviting the film. I think you'll be seeing more of this film, and by the way, Josie's involved in several other films which will be coming out later this year. So it's going to be a busy year for 852 Films, and maybe you want to say something.
Yes. Thank you so much, and I hope we all understand making mistakes is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want everyone to realize that life is about fun. And we have, because of work, making money, and a lot of materialistic things, and some urgent things we have to do for the family. Maybe those are unhappy things, but we can still have a choice to choose that, to choose to find bliss every day, maybe for a little bit of time, so we don't have to we don't have to accumulate bad thoughts and bad vibes. This is a film that we want to contribute a little bit to look for the better vibe, a good vibe, to find bliss.
Perfect. Okay.
Yes.
So very good. Thank you very much, everybody. Yeah.